All right. Buckle up, y'all, because we got a lot to cover this morning. We got the Shannon Sharp bombshell news, man. $50 million lawsuit filed by none other than the late, great Tony Buzbee. I shouldn't have said late, but that guy, man. Maybe the metaphor could be, we thought you already was finished, right? But he's still here doing what he does. But this is different. This is serious. We're gonna read through it. We're going to take a look at some of the details. We're going to take a look at Shannon Sharp's response. He put some text messages out. Very, very big news, especially for the podcasting and the sports media world. So we'll get into that. We also got Kanye's tweet. Now, I could say Kanye's tweet, plural, right? But when I say tweet specifically, you know which one we're going to talk about today. All right. We also got Kevin Gates versus LeBron James. I got an angle of that you guys are not going to want to miss. By the time we close out that topic, I need you to see how we close out the Kevin Gates and the LeBron James situation. Okay. I'm gonna go to this clone situation. Okay. Some of us from the battle rap side that are still on this channel. The battle rapper Clone, he had an interrogation room video that came out, right? So of course you have something like that where somebody's sitting there on camera saying names or naming names. They're gonna call you a snitch. They're gonna call you a rat. I have three important angles I need to address about Clone's situation. All right. What else do we got? We got Druski. We got Lil Durk's bond update. We got a lot. All right. So members, hold me down. Shout out to the whole chat in the building, and shout out to Checks and Balances, the mods, man. Let's go. We got to work. Let's start here. Let's go to Shannon Sharp. Wow. All right, let's go. Shannon Sharp sued for $50 million over alleged R's. Plural, they put there. Not one. They put multiple on them. Let's see why. Shannon Sharp seems like a very, very laid back guy. Seems cool. They call him Unc and everything. Doesn't seem like the type of person to do that, right? Let's try to build a picture here. Shannon Sharp has just been sued for allegedly R-ing a woman on multiple occasions, and the plaintiff in the case is asking for tens of millions in damages. Stop right there for a second. How many times are we going to get annoyed, me included, right? I hope y'all feel the same, of these R situations just totally bypassing criminal allegations, somebody going to the cops, somebody going. How does this end up in Tony Buzbee's hand, right? I'm just asking the question. I come from a time where if a woman had an allegation of a man R-ing her, she ran to the fucking police, right? But let's continue because there's some stuff in here that's spooky for Shannon, okay? The lawsuit obtained by TMZ Sports was filed by Jane Doe, unnamed at this point. It's another one that I don't like, but on Sunday in Nevada, after she says Sharp brutally SA'd her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, following a year-long abusive relationship. I must react to that piece as well, people. It can happen. We will show a lot of sensitivity to any woman that comes out with our allegations, unless she's some super far out, got a reputation, and we just like, yo, get her up out of here. You know what I'm saying? But we got to show sensitivity to it because it's a sensitive and it's a serious allegation. But one thing that I've never been fully comfortable with, people, is when it happens multiple times. Okay? I don't think that you could find a woman in my family that you could do that to the first time, and then she's back around you for a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth rodeo. Right? I'm just being real. I'm being honest. I'm giving my reaction here. Doesn't mean that the details around what happened behind closed doors with Shannon Sharp and this Jane Doe are true or false. Okay? Just my own reaction. Let's keep going. According to the suit, Doe met Sharp in 2023. This is a couple years ago. Okay. At a gym in LA when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid 50s. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, 20, me personally, 20-year-old can't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? But he's in his 50s. He's bachelor lifed up. He's caked up. All that money moving around. He's celebrity. He's enjoying his life, man. We could tell with Shannon Sharp, right? I'd like to see him step that age up. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to see you with women in their 30s and 40s, Shannon, but hey, man, I can't judge, okay? She stated in the docs during their first encounter, Sharp told her he would buy her fake titties if she won a weight loss competition with him. I mean, of all the angles to get next to somebody, I mean, hey, you got a lot of money, so playing games like that, it might be fun for you, I guess. Okay. What Little Durk rap? So I made her take her ass off. Give me them titties back, bitch. They call for like where them glizzies at, bitch. But some of y'all is into that. Some of y'all is into giving these women their titties and their asses or whatever as if it's a bag and heels. That's the new bag and heels, y'all. Titties and asses out in LA and Hollywood, okay? Do y'all thing. Once again, I'm going to try not to judge. Ain't for me. She wrote a suit, Sharp proceeded, to pursue her relentlessly calling, texting, and demanding she come to his Beverly Hills Glen Mansion. Okay, did you go? All right. The woman stated she and the former Denver Broncos tight end ultimately got into a consensual relationship. Okay, that's factor number one. They were in, regardless of whether he's buying titties, whether they met at the, whether she's 20 years old, they met at the gym, whatever. It's already being proposed here that they got into a consensual relationship. Okay. Though she described it as controlling and verbally abusive. There's men like that out there. You meet them, you should step away from them. Or some people like that, whatever floats your boat. When I see Blueface and Krishan, that's for them. They get TV shows behind their toxic shit. All right. That's on them. He demanded complete control over her time and body. Attorney Buzbee wrote in Doe's suit, expecting her to be at his house, on his schedule, at his command, whenever he called. I'm gonna keep it real, man. This girl Bianca, whatever, she looks like Kanye's little fuck doll running around. I don't even think I've heard her speak before. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff that allegedly Kanye looks like he's into. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a cleaner and a nicer way of saying that, people. Okay, I could just call them trophy wives. That's an easier way for me to say it. Okay, allegedly, trophy wives. You know, what's one of my perceptions? I ain't gonna say the definition. One of my perceptions of a trophy wife, you take a shallow man that sometimes in other circumstances would not be with that woman, right? But you're gonna have the whole billionaires of the world. They could be in their 50s and their 60s. And the women in their prime, the 20s, the 25-year-olds, the 30-year-olds, you know who they're clamoring for. They're clamoring for these men. And hey, a deal's a deal. Yeah, once again, whatever floats your boat. Okay. But there's really no connection there. The soulmate shit is out the window. Really, what you got is you got this beautiful, glammed up woman that you're walking around with. Kanye said, well, did Kanye say this publicly? Allegedly, I think he did. Amber Rose, I think, exposed some of this as well when she interviewed with, ironically, Club Shay Shay. That he's the type of guy to say, when I walk into a room with my woman, I want everybody in there to want to fuck my woman. And that's where you start to get into them areas of being an exhibitionist. Allegedly, you start to get into a little bit more freaky behavior. You get into things like becoming a cuck, you know, CUCK people. You get into that type of world, I think. And this is all linking when we get to Kanye's tweet, matter of fact, as I'm drawing this in my head. You know what I'm saying? But a trophy wife is there to be a presentation, okay? You're not on the field when I'm actually running, scoring all the touchdowns and all that. You're just the award that I put on the shelf, you know what I'm saying? And I glam you up so people can say, oh, look what you did. That's what a trophy wife is, okay? So let's continue. Whenever he called, cool. So you was on his call, as per Tony Buzbee. Doe claimed there was an argument in particular that terrified her when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. Now, Tony Buzbee doesn't have credibility with us, okay? Because of what he just went through with Jay-Z. This ain't no Jay-Z defense moment. This is what Alex Spiro broke down, and the fact that he had to go run from the hills, and now he's getting his ass sued by Jay-Z. Okay? They got the woman on audio admitting that Tony Buzbee put her up to this. The Jane Doe and Jay-Z's case. We all heard it. Okay? So details that I start to see from Tony Buzbee, they don't get automatic credibility from me. But there's still accusations. There still is a victim, an alleged victim here. And we don't know what type of proof she put on the table. If she got pictures, video, text messages that complement her claim. So this type of stuff looks scary. All right. Not the fact that he had a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have had a legal gun in the crib. But the threats in the midst of all that, well, also shows that you don't trust this man. Okay. Plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone. I wonder if that actually happened. Just in case. I wonder if that's on record. Okay. The doc state. The doc state. Oh, no. That's got to be the lawsuit documents. I want the police documents to that, though. But Sharp saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, if you ever do that again, I will effing kill you. It's an allegation. They're painting a scary picture here. The two nevertheless continued the relationship. Of course, they kept going. Okay. Even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. So they moved in together after this? Okay, let's continue. However, those states in her suit, she attempted to break things off after his infamous Instagram live streaming incident. So that's where the audio came out where he was in the act with some woman or whatever, and he said a couple of funny quotables that ran wild viral on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Cat Williams texted him and said, well, you ain't gay today. Right? So, all right, you saw that and you tried to break up with him behind that. Cool. Which she said led to him R-ing her. Okay, so now she's saying this was the first serious incident here. Jane Doe then claimed in her suit, the first instance happened in October 2024. This was right around the corner at her apartment. She said the 56-year-old Pro Football Hall of Famer forced himself on her while she was crying and sobbing. Stop right there. Big screen for a second, people. Teachable moments for all of us. Here's a teachable moment. This is for you fellas, pay attention. You ladies, pay attention out there. I just had this reference pop into my head just now reading this. You know how you could be in a deep relationship and you use sex as a healer, right? Here's a classic scene, right? Baby boy. They fussing, they fighting, they all outside where the neighbors can hear, all on the stairs and all that threatening. I'm gonna punch you in your face. You ain't taking my car. They going crazy. Baby boy, Tyrese or whoever. I forget the name of his character in the movie Baby Boy, right? They going crazy right there in public. And what do they do to remedy the whole situation? They fuck. And even while they fucking, she's having flashes of all types of wild shit in her head. This is the depiction of reality, of really what happens in relationships. People use sex to heal. Women do it. Your man might be mad at you, whatever, or maybe you that person, whatever, he might wake up and something going on that maybe you ain't do last night. You know what I'm saying? It happens in both directions. So when you got a woman, so here's a teachable moment that we're learning. You got a frustrated moment or a situation where a woman, I'm gonna just use it in one direction, right? Because men are rarely gonna walk into court and say that they got art. So I'm gonna use it in one direction. You got a situation where your lady is crying, she's irate, maybe screaming, maybe highly, highly upset. In the midst of that moment, you better be with somebody that you fully trust and you are deep within your situation with if you're going to pull a baby boy. That's the teachable moment right there. That's the teachable moment. If you are going to say, yo, shut all that shit up, grab her by the neck, throw ass on the bed and take her down and remind her what's going on here, who the king of this shit is. Make sure y'all are deep in y'all relationship because technically she can go to the lawyers or police and say, I was crying, we were screaming, we were fussing, we were fighting. And next thing I know, he threw me on the bed and he took me down. In the baby boy scene, we watched that and we said, yep, that happened before. I understand what they just did. In this scenario right here, $50 million. Okay? Thank you, Kelson. Thank you, Kelson. How does that song end? Fuck you, bitch. No, fuck you, nigga. Oh, fuck. And then they change the context of the words at the very end. What's happening? Right? Teachable moment, people. Be careful because they will turn that in, especially if you got money. Especially if you got money. Let's go back to this. So that's the 2024 first incident, she says. The second instance, the suit alleges happened a few weeks later. I don't like that. I don't like you being allowing yourself to be around this man that you're saying weeks prior did that to you if it wasn't consensual. Okay. The second instance, the suit alleges happened a few weeks later in January 2025, a couple months ago. Doe claims Sharp came over to her house with promises of delivering Christmas and birthday gifts to her. Okay. But instead violently SA'd her once more. So there's probably text messages or phone calls of him saying, hey, I got gifts, birthday, Christmas, whatever. And you let him come over to give you that stuff because it's her place, right? Either direction, his place or your place would have been a problem for me. But so you let him come over to give you the gifts, but you're saying then he did that again and he did it a couple weeks prior. So the only picture that Tony Buzbee and this Jane Doe is going to paint here is that you thought he was coming to apologize for a couple weeks ago and he had gifts for that. Like, all right, she's suing for over 50 million. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money. That is true. Buzbee said in a statement after filing the suit on Doe's behalf, I look forward to pressing this case to court. We've reached out to Sharp for comment in the case, but so far no word back. Tony Buzbee, all these damn Jane Does and John Does, right? All these unnamed people, your reputation is trash right now. Okay, let's go here for a second. Let's go here because you see the title says he has a big problem this time, okay? We're building up to that, even though I know there's a lot of things in here that are very, very questionable thus far. All right. Shannon Sharpe releases text messages from SA accuser, says the lawsuit is an attempt to shake him down for millions of dollars. Well, everybody knows how much money he got on his last situation, right? Hell, people say he made maybe a couple million just from his Cat Williams interview alone, right? Let alone his new deal when he went and left Skip and joined Stephen A and all that, and the podcast has been booming ever since. Like, nah, you got it right now, Unc. You walking around with some money right now, and everybody knows that, and that's what makes you a target. It sucks. All right, what's this? I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're in me. So that's a text message that has been released. Oh shit, they naming her. So Tony Buzbee comes with the lawsuit, says Jane Doe. Shannon Sharpe puts out the text messages that says Gabriella Zaninga. Oh shit. Oh, I almost didn't catch that. Wow. Okay. Allegedly, let me be sensitive for me. This ain't my source or nothing, but in a text message to Shannon Sharpe, October 7th, 2023. I know you missed this big juicy, whatever that is, redacted, $25K for each cheek. Oh. So you not only are they're gonna paint a picture of you being money hungry and on him because this is a guy with the trophy type of woman. He's got all the bread. 25K to him is nothing, but you're actually requesting it. Not that he's just showering you with it, but you're requesting it too, and you're requesting it for this type of shit, each cheek. Gabriella Zaninga in a text message to Sharp 11. Oh, no, I'm sorry. January 1st, 2025, right around the corner. So you're saying that the first incident happened, what did they say? November, October, whatever. But in January, after the incidents, you got text messages to him saying, I know you missed this big juicy, blah, 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 blah. Okay. This lawsuit filed by Gabriella Zaninga and orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Buzbee, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. Are there any more text messages here? Yeah. Text message from Gabriella Zaninga to Shannon Sharpe, November 23rd, 2023. I want to put my tongue in your and then marry you. Okay, so she freaky too. All right. Text from Gabriella Zaninga to Shannon Sharpe, January 12th, 2024. That's my daddy, whatever that is, redacted. I want you to put a big black baby in me. Okay, all right. Text from Gabriella Zaninga to Shannon Sharpe. So this girl can't be black if she's saying put a big black baby in me. There's no way she's black. allegedly, these text messages are real. Okay. August 6th, 2024. You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. Yeah, if these are real text messages, we see what her job is. I mean that literally. I'm gonna catch one of you. I'm gonna be in the gym. I'm gonna catch one of you niggas. Up, old man with some money in his 50s. Got him. Yeah, she's trying to catch. She's saying it though. Shannon, she's telling you that. Run for the hills. I mean, you don't got to be telling somebody that. We're supposed to be able to see it in a woman's actions and her presentation and what she's about. Conversation or two would normally reveal what a woman's on and a man, but she's telling you. There's no way I'm putting my dick in her after. Like, I can't get too graphic. It's YouTube. Text from Gabriella Zeninga to Shannon Sharpe, August 11, 2024. These messages are just a sent. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Well, Shannon Sharpe accused of, $50 million. Here's the problem, people. Here's why I say he has a big problem this time. And what I mean when I say this time. When I say this time, he had his gay allegations, right? So what? People have their own sexual preference that they welcome to, okay? The audio came out and, they had to navigate that. He got up there with Ocho on his podcast. They navigated that. I'm pretty sure it's a little tense in the office, when you go do your big show with Stephen A and everything. It's corporate America. This is the problem, people. I don't know about you. I don't know about y'all. Maybe I'm missing something. I haven't seen Joy Taylor ever since the drama kicked up. Have y'all? Where Joy at? I haven't seen her on the show since. Now, there were reports and speculation that they had to push her out of there for a second as all this stuff gets sorted out. Okay? Now, the thing with Shannon here, you're not necessarily in a place to be looked at as the victim this time. As damn, my phone and somebody this and this one, and I was just handling my business in my own private life. Everybody could laugh and move on. Actually, the company will get some controversial views off of that. They don't mind that. They can spin that. This is our allegations. I don't fuck with Tony Buzbee. He's not credible. We read a lot of things in this whole situation just now that seem right? A lot of cause to pause. But it's still the accusation. Hence the example I just gave you of Joy Taylor. Okay? This is corporate America. His podcast is one thing. Private owned entity. Talk about the likes of like ESPN and these big networks. And somebody is accusing you of the R word. Corporate can't play around with that. They can't play around with that. We didn't even let the last situation fully heal yet as far as negative publicity, whether we were able to spin it or not. This is a big problem, man. This was a big problem for Jay. We didn't really believe that all the way either. Once Alex Spiro came out and he broke everything down in his conference, we thought Tony Buzbee and his 800 number was on some bullshit anyway. But in the midst of that, big screen, what still is happening in the background? What's still happening in the background is Jay-Z is claiming from his own suit, I'm losing money. This alleged casino that we're trying to build in New York or whatever, it's on pause. I got receipts showing 20 million just went out the door from a deal that I lost out. Everybody got to put it on pause. We believe you or not. I could walk up to Shannon Sharpe right now, his best friend, and say, man, this is bullshit. But got to sit down for a second. This is corporate, people. This is corporate. And the fact that it involves that type of allegation, bullshit, frivolous or not, they're going to be very sensitive about it. If he ends up in Joy Taylor's situation, I wouldn't be surprised, okay? Because you got crap like this all over the place.
See, CM Punk does as much good to my reputation as Shannon Sharpe does to ESPN.
Oh, no, jeez. Oh, boy. All right, see, all right, we don't need that. We don't need that. A lot going on.
Don't ooh me. I'm not the one getting sued.
Oh, okay. All right. Whoa. All right.
The reason why he's whoa, because we're talking about a televised situation. Once again, corporate people, corporate. KK, appreciate the super. ARP Joy been on her show. She was on the show a day after the news came out too. I know she was there a day after the news. The show called Speaking on FS1. So what I'm talking about is, so she was on every show, right? She was what do you call that? You don't really call that the it's like the person that does a lot of the lobbying, even though I think she had good takes and she was very instrumental in the show as well. I personally haven't seen her since. I know right after the allegations, it's not like the allegations broke on the internet and then day one she was gone. No, it was like week 1, week 2. There's actually reports on it of it on the internet that she was pushed to the side because we started not seeing her on the show. And ever since they stopped her from being on the show, whether it was like more infrequent or like a full gap of time where they pushed it to the side, I haven't seen her since then. That's my point. But there absolutely it's recorded, it's documented on the internet. There absolutely was a point where after the allegations came out, it was like maybe a week or so after, maybe 2 weeks after, where they stopped putting her up there. Matter of fact, the first thing that happened was they put her up there and they changed the fucking wardrobe. No more cleavage. Shirt was all the way up to her chin. Remember? Right? Hairstyle, they dumbed down that sex appeal that they was once selling. Hey, we got a heavy chested woman up here. A lot of men are gonna tune in just for that. They took that off for a second. Nope. Cover the cleavage up, put the hair up, all of that. Not the hair flowing down the shoulders. They stopped all of that. And then it was she's not there, or she wasn't there consistently anymore. So what's happening today? I haven't seen her in a while. I was watching them the other day talk about the Lakers yesterday. I didn't see her up there. Same FS1 show, I think, or whatever. So I'm just saying, but shout out to you, KK. I appreciate you. Yeah, let's keep the updates going. But that's why it's a big problem for Shannon, man. It's a big problem. It's corporate. It's corporate people. That type of allegation is never going to be taken lightly in corporate because you're talking about money. You're talking about a female demographic where the details don't matter. They don't know Tony Buzbee. They don't care about Tony Buzbee's background. They don't care about the text messages. It just is going to hit certain women like, ooh, our allegation, I'm not watching that show. I'm not watching him anymore. You got sponsors. You think I want to walk around with and parade you as the new Nike sponsor right now, and there's our allegations on you? Speaking about sports, some would say that's even what happened to Michael Jordan, over gambling. Some would say it was his father. Some would say it was his gambling. That conspiracy is there forever. Even well-known, like Skip, for example. Some of the biggest sports analysts have spoke about it. Like, nah, they pushed Jordan out for a second because they had to cool off all this other stuff. And he was the biggest draw in the NBA. I got a lot of references and examples for y'all people. It's corporate. All right, we got a lot to go over, so let's move on. I would love to just stay on topics like this for soul videos, but we got to push this out, people, because there's so much. Let's go to Kevin Gates and LeBron James next. Let's paint a quick picture first of just visually some of the relationship between LeBron James and Savannah, right? Because it's kind of started from how it looks from the outside looking in, of times where like maybe they're face to face and maybe she's challenging him, or maybe she isn't going crazy and flipping her lid, or even this, for example, when he tries to give her their special handshake. Let's build a picture. Oh, some of y'all ain't gonna like this one right here. This topic. Some of y'all ain't gonna like this topic. All right, so Kevin Gates, man, not a big deal, right? Everybody's entitled to an opinion. You know, this was something that he threw on the internet. Cool.
This how the conversation came up. We were just looking at like couples and people in the league. And then we was talking about how LeBron do the little handshake with Savannah.
Right.
And then I was like, maybe I know this shit that people don't notice. But I'm like, they was like talking about, what if you had LeBron money? I'm like, man, he one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Right.
But I wouldn't want to trade places with him. And they was like, why not? Why you wouldn't want to play? I say, because I don't like the way Savannah look
It's
at
based.
LeBron. I like the way them white women look at LeBron. Like when soon as he walk out there, they just be like, oh. This how the conversation came up.
Y'all know what he's talking about, right? When he says how them white women, you know what he's talking about, right? It's been on the internet forever. All right. This is the example that he's talking about. We smiling at, nigga. All right. Everybody up to speed now? We painted a picture. Okay, cool. Real quick, Kevin, the conversation never goes the route of why you don't want to be another man. Actually, those conversations, it's not about whether it's a woman, how the women look at you, what your relationship is like with your wife, how much money you have. It's never about that. It's supposed to be, first and foremost, this topic doesn't apply to me because I would never want to trade from being me. I don't care who you are. You could be a billionaire. You could be your favorite sports figure, rapper, R&B singer, whatever. I don't want to be none of y'all. If a genie comes down right now and says, hey, man, you know, I want you to start your life over. And who do you want to choose to be? Me? The fuck? And that's not a thing of arrogance or conceit. It's not about being conceited. It's I can't see myself wanting to be somebody else. Maybe it's just me. But for the sake of like a fun debate, okay? Kevin Gates, who said a lot of outlandish things on the internet before, allegedly, I think I remember him saying things like he had sex with a cousin or something like that. Does he have an album that's out or dropping? Are you promoting? This type of stuff doesn't shock me from him. Fun debate, right? But two big problems that I have with this, and seeing that it's become a big topic, fine, let's touch on it and let me give my take. Two big problems. The first big problem is we spoke about, I love how some of these topics can bleed into each other. We spoke about a trophy wife. I don't know Savannah, but just from the outside looking in, you know what she looks like? She looks like one of them queens. She looks like, oh, you behind every strong man is a strong woman. You see the reputation of her online, go Google it, go YouTube it. She don't even take pictures with other men. She'd be walking into the crowd or walking to the seats in the arena, boys or little fans of LeBron James or older men, whatever. Hey, Savannah, that's LeBron James' wife. Can you take a picture? She keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? She only take pictures with girls, little girls and women, right? I didn't hear no controversy around her name. I didn't hear no fuck shit around her name. She don't got no reputation of being some trophy or she's a day one. She's a sandbox. She's I was with you then and I'm with you now through the good and the bad, through the ups and the downs. And none of us are in that household. Every relationship and family has problems. They look very, very strong and very healthy to me. So when you're not some trophy, when you're not a Bianca or whatever her name is, that's with Kanye, when you're not that, you don't have to marvel in your man or your woman 24/7. Do I want my woman to appreciate the ground that I walk on, get excited when I'm around, treat me like the king that I am, treat me like the alpha that I am, and the way that 100%, we all want that, right? But you don't wake up and go to sleep like that 365, 24/7. Why? Because it's a mutual vibe. It's a mutual vibe. Regardless of who the leader is in a relationship, it's still a mutual vibe, okay? If I wake up, if I roll over and she's like, this in my face, 365, something's wrong. I'm scared. No, that's not reality, people. That girl on the sidelines looking at Braun like that, you want to know why she looked at him like that? I mean, she might be attracted to him and all that. We'll give all of that as a possibility. But one of the things as well is it's LeBron James, the gravity of one of the biggest, if not the biggest sports name in the world right now today, the gravity of that is going to create people to marvel. They're going to, okay? Me and my wife, Savannah, she don't marvel over me. Not in that respect. She's used to me. She's with me. We grew up together. I walked in the bathroom and, oh, damn, you blew this shit up. That's their reality. not seeing this Superman on the court that just came back from a 3-1 deficit. That's what that girl on the court sees. She's not at home washing his funky ass boxes and shit. You ever live with somebody? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? So Kevin Gates has a very shallow opinion of what you expect a man's wife to present 365. Okay? How about this? Reality check, people. I see y'all putting facts in the chat. Reality check, people. You with somebody for 10, 15, 20 years. It was beautiful. You ever meet some of these old grandparents? They be like, we've been together for 40 years. Everybody applauds. Like, God, how'd you do it? You with somebody for even 5, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. That long? You know what you're happy with? Hey, nice occasion here and there. Every other weekend, so maybe once a month, we go out, we have a dinner, we smile, we have a great time. The energy is escalated. We get back to some old shit that we used to do when we was in our 20s. You know what I'm saying? We did some adventurous shit on the beach when nobody was around. You know what I'm saying? We fucked in the lifeguard chair real quick, even though we've been together for 35 years. You know what I'm saying? What else? Valentine's Day, holidays, birthdays. But like, once again, you sprinkle in those moments as well. Once a month, maybe every other week or something like that. After 20 years, what the fuck do you think you could show somebody? You know, there's no way that you can be that woman on that sideline after 20 years, 365 days a year. Okay, so I'm about to get to number 2 that shows who Kevin Gates is. Not only is he out of touch with reality, right? But as much as you parade yourself around as a ladies' man, you don't understand relationships to me. You don't understand long-term to me. Okay? I could kill Kevin Gates' experience and knowledge-wise in this field, and he shows it. Want to know the real critical way that he shows it? Bombshell time, people. This is the one I wanted you guys to wait for. All you got to do is YouTube or search the history of who you got sitting next to you right now. Reality check, sir. You don't have a Savannah James sitting next to you by far. Allegedly. This is what you have sitting next to you right now, today.
Hello, I am really hot.
Where I thought I was, being Billy Badass, and I fucked 3 guys in a week. Had a mean yeast infection. Where they're like, oh, she probably fucked at least 30 guys in the NBA.
My favorite basketball team is whatever NBA player I'm fucking.
The next minute, I see me spread eagle on the timeline playing with my pussy. In my experience, the worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb. I don't like talking about my history with men I'm dating, I guess until now, because most of the guys that I've dealt with are going to have more money than you. And you're going to feel a way about it. I know the male ego is fragile, like the ball sack that hangs in between your legs.
I will air this bitch the fuck out. Delete the fucking tweet. You are a fucking psycho fucking past liar hypocrite. Delete the fucking tweet or I will fucking drag you, bitch.
Today on Famous Criminals, we're talking about Totemus Prime.
Yo, did they say that the name of the channel is Famous Criminals and they got an episode on her? This is a 7-minute video and I'm still not even going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to skip around. The intro is enough? No? Is the intro not enough?
A forgotten character. Soon they're going to be able to look at a fetus and determine if it's good enough to play. I avoid talking about Brittany Renner because my opinion is probably going to disappoint a few people. This scenario happens all the time.
Is anybody disappointed at seeing this? Who's disappointed?
An athlete or just a rich man in general gets a girl pregnant and then they're trapped for 18 years. Most of these athletes go broke.
Doesn't she have interviews talking about trapping people? Right? Like literally, like out of her own mouth. I'll say allegedly. Doesn't she have that though? Doesn't she say those things?
Within 5 years after its fleet she banged was Colin Kaepernick, but he obviously didn't impregnate her. He did the pull-out method, but he obviously didn't.
What? Wait. IG model Brittany Renner says Kaepernick made her pay for her own flights to come see him.
Impregnate her. He did the.
God forbid.
pullout method. So Britney was really frustrated, and she actually wrote a book detailing all the athletes that she banged. Now, about the same time, she started building an audience on Instagram, and like most Instagram models, her content was very inspiring and insightful. To this day, she has 4.6 million followers, and most of these people are holding their phones with their left hand. Now, a few years ago, she went on No Jumper, and everybody watching all agreed that she is very unpleasant and possibly out of her mind. Now, at a certain point, she decided to target younger athletes and entertainers. She apparently hooked up with 6ix9ine when he was 22 years old, and he criticized his manhood. She also had a thing with 21-year-old Jamal.
He was with 6ix9ine too?
Murray while Britney was 26, but Jamal was smart enough not to impregnate her, so she went for PJ Washington, who was still in college and possibly naive enough to ejaculate inside of her. It's better to invest in something that's going to be big than something that's already big. And after a year, but keep in mind, he's got to pay taxes. He has other expenses entirely capped. But this is what until married families are a rarity. The player hate the game. Instead of attacking her, you should attack the system we created to make these things possible. Since the 1960s, American women have been getting pregnant already. 5 years ago.
He knew what he was getting into when he got it. She is, man. He knew what he was getting into. It was mess between Black China and Rob. That's their business, man. He knew what he was getting into when he got it. She is what she is. She was what she was, man. Quit crying to the internet, nigga. You got more money to burn, go buy you another. Black China just did what she's supposed to do. She seen a sucker and she licked it. All you suckers out there, don't get licked. Do the licking.
And it's weird how this was just 5 years ago. In the
I mean, what's the point of playing the whole thing? I'm skipping around because I damn near was so intrigued. Like, damn, like remembering her history. it's insane, people. And like Uncle Snoop just said, you know, hey, don't get mad. Like, you know what she was, you know what she is. You see a sucker and you got licked. You know what I'm saying? And Kevin Gates, are you the next sucker? Right? I get it, people. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a couple women that see this video or this live, and maybe people feel the need to defend Brittany Renner. Go ahead. And one of the positions that people will take is that she's reformed or she's changed or don't hold somebody to their past. I agree with you, people. Allow somebody the space to grow. Give somebody the opportunity to be reformed. Prisoners sometimes get reformed. They deserve those second chance opportunities. Just last reality check, though, people. Brittany Renner isn't on her second, third chance as far as her public perception. She is on her 1,000th chance as far as what we see and what we know. You don't have let's say I don't know her age. Let's say she's 30 years old. You don't have 25 years of doing what she has done or 20, whatever. I don't want to do the math of when she was legal, right? Let's just say 80% of what appears to be her legally sexual promiscuous life, she's been who she's been. A couple weeks ago, she wants to start showing me that she's practicing a new faith, and you want me to jump in and say, hurrah, this is a whole new person. Doesn't work like that for me, because I know a lot of killers in jail that want to tell you right now, let me out. I'll never hurt nobody again. Go believe everybody that tells you that story. Some you should trust. Brittany Renner has given me no fucking reason to trust her, even if she claims to be reformed for the next 2 years. I'm sorry, you've done too much. I put you, based on your past, in the never bracket. Never trust you bracket. But if it takes me 5 seconds to YouTube search shit like that, Kevin Gates has the same access that we do. So just be careful when you want to talk about people and their wives and their relationships not being as solid, because your foundation is seriously cracked if that's your choice. All right. People, are we having fun this morning? Damn, 1, 2, 3. If you could tell, I'm trying to move fast for y'all because we have a lot. Let's go to Clone. Okay, let's go to Clone. I got 3 things for Clone. One is going to be a positive that weighs on his side. One is going to be a negative that doesn't weigh on his side. And the third one is going to be a general reality check. Okay. First and foremost, though, let's play the video For those that don't know Clone, because we are in the midst of bringing over a lot of fans from the entertainment and podcast world for news, and they don't necessarily follow all of battle rap. Clone is a battle rapper who had, I'm not going to play that footage, but he had a video that came out of him in an interrogation room, and it appeared that to show that he was naming names, right? So you know the internet these days, you know the climate, I should say, these days. If you're out here, you got interrogation footage that comes out, paperwork that comes out in the battle rap space. One of the biggest moments, and still today, that just shocked everybody was a battle rapper by the name of Adi Boom. He was fresh home for his come home battle and got exposed in that battle, right? We had Bad News come out a couple weeks ago, a month or so ago. There was a lot of work, controversy, and paperwork around him, and you stand where you stand. Now this situation with Clone. My first disclaimer is going to be, Clone has always presented himself as a sturdy person. Okay. I've had interactions with him. I've done business with him. He's been a sturdy guy with me. You know what I'm saying? But this comes out and it makes everybody question what the hell is going on. So let me play the record that he put himself on with Jackboy Maine, another battle rapper, a couple of days ago, and then I'm going to get into my 3 takes.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. At this point, what you saying sounds legit. Niggas just want to see the physical.
Say less. I can understand that.
Like
I can understand that.
Like the way you're explaining it, it can sound understandable. Like, you know what I mean? They had it fucked up. I just told them who was the owner of basically what you're saying, who was the owner of the record label. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with the industry word, you feel me? He asked me who was in the industry, and that's why they cut it off at that clip or started it at that clip. You feel me? Because right before that clip, it's clear, bro, I denied all gang activity. Like through the whole interview, I'm denying all gang activity.
I understand that part. I understand that part. So that's what I'm saying. If you're saying that what we seeing is you saying like Hertz is the CEO of the label type shit, goddamn, then what niggas want to see is the rest of the shit that clarifies that, because we don't got the rest of the context. So what we do got is just Clone sitting there and him asking who's the leaders and, as you say, who's in the industry, and then you reply with Hertz name, and I think you also said whoever it is before they locked up now or something like that. So it's like us seeing that now it's just like, all right, what physical do we got to go against that? And then when you saying that there's more context to it, we just want to now see more context. So if you have the context as your homie, I'm telling you, put out that context. That's what clears your name.
Right side.
You know what I mean?
Nah, right side. Say less.
Because if you're saying that there's no black and white for that interview, like that interview isn't in a transcript in black and white, then and you have the rest of it, then we want to see the rest of that content. You know what I mean? Because at that point, if what you're saying is that then not that it don't matter, but to what we have seen, the paperwork that you have don't matter, because what people are going off of isn't in paperwork. You see what I'm saying? Like if you get the same thing. No, you get what I'm saying? Because we get that you got your paperwork for your case, but what people are actually looking for to clear your name isn't in the paperwork, is what you're saying, right? Yeah.
So another narrative. No. Go ahead and land your plane.
Oh, so then basically I'm done. I'm just saying. So if the rest of the context is in the video, then people want to see that. You know what I mean? Like people, that's what's going to clear your name.
Post the whole video.
Yeah, niggas don't need all 15 minutes, but that's what I was about to say. Niggas don't need all 15 minutes. Now I will say all 15 minutes will be best. I'll tell you that much as well. All 15 minutes would be best to fully clear. There's no question.
The fully entertain motherfuckers.
I mean, you could. I'm keeping it all the way gangster with you, brother. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not coming out. Like I'm not trying to be funny or none of that. I'm just telling you, like the full to where niggas can have everything and break down everything as they watching it and get nothing interrupted. You know what I mean? Shit like that. That would make the most sense. But to you know what I mean? To not have to do that, if you have the important parts of what's needed, if you can put that out to where it gives more context into what's going on, you know what I mean? Then boom.
Nah, solid, bro. You feel me? I think you accomplished exactly what brother was hinting to. You feel me? As far as getting to the bottom of it. Now you did that righteous.
Okay, and that's the most important piece of their conversation. Let me see if there was some other context that I wanted at the very end of it. Let me see. Hold on, people.
Hitman announcement without even recouping they full seeing if they in the green for their ROI. Like, come on, bro, that ain't for the culture. Everybody and their fucking mama should be going to subscribe to keep them alive. Let's keep them going. But you know what I'm saying? We get sidetracked with bullshit like this. But one thing, Clone I got time for it. I got time. We got 1 more minute, man. I ain't seen no motherfucking question. So y'all good until I come back with that. So after that gets posted, say less.
Okay, that's the piece that I was looking for. Okay. All right. Like I said, I have three separate takes. Reality check, what weighs negative for him and what weighs positive for him. Let's go to the reality check first. The reality check is sometimes we, me included, battle rappers, artists, singers, rappers, movie stars, whatever, we end up in these situations and we have an expectation of the internet and the community and some of the people that we associate with, which is to tap in with us or to get more details or to speak to us first. And this reality check ain't just for Clone, it's for myself and it's for all of us. That's just not how things work on the internet, okay? If I have if footage of me from an interrogation room comes out tomorrow, right? There's probably, and I'm not going to name them, there's probably about 8, 9, maybe 10, if I'm lucky, people that I would have the expectation of tapping in with me prior to making any public statement on my name, right? It could be less than that. It could be like maybe even 3 out of the 10 I put in a gray area, to be real, right? And I know hundreds of people from 1,000 people from the space of battle rap, right? But maybe like 7 out of 10, I would be like, now you didn't tap in with me first, I have an issue. The other 3 is like borderline, okay? Now, the second category to that would be people that I know they're gonna speak their piece, they're gonna have their opinions on the internet. But if they tap in with me, it's not to see if I'm okay or get their story right to understand who I am or get some clarification of something. What they're really doing is they're giving me a respect that they still have for me, but it doesn't stop what their intentions are. Like, let's say Hip Hop is Real, 15 Minutes of Fame. They might hit me up. I've had them hit me up before and say, yo, Jag just shopped this song to me. I want to let you know, man. Give you a heads up. I'm gonna drop it tomorrow. You're not telling me like you're not gonna drop. You're telling me you're gonna drop it, but you're just giving me a heads up. Thank you. I appreciate it. I get my ducks in a row, I guess, or in order. But you're giving me a respectful call. I respect you. I respect our relationship. I respect our business. I respect our association. I'm giving you a respect call, right? The other calls have nothing to do with respect or you owe me something, which was the first category, which is very, very the smallest percentage, right? Not that you owe me something, not that you have respect for me, but you don't give a fuck about me, but we're associates, and it is what it is. Really, those people are just going to tap in with you just so they can further muster up their content. like, hey, man, so I got this side of the story. Do you got some information for me? Because if you don't, I'm going to have my own shit. You got a side of the story to tell me? It's like the newspaper reaching out to you. Like TMZ, we just read that. TMZ, they reached out to Shannon Sharpe for their side because they got the paperwork from Tony Buzbee. They reached out to Shannon Sharpe, didn't get an answer. Okay, we running it like this then. That's the reality check. Like, we have this expectation of too many people. We really do. And it's almost like saying everybody's your friend or overusing the word friend. Or some of these people that call 1 million people their brother. You believe them? You fucking idiot. My brother. Shout out my brother. You believe him? Idiot. You did, and you paid for it, for believing him. So that's the reality check, people. Now let me talk about the positive. I'll say the negative for last. Three takes on this. Let's get to the second take. The positive. Here's the positive. The positive is this loans to my consistency of things I've said on my streams recently, which is context. Context. I wouldn't want it to happen to me, so I still got to stand on that same position now when it's somebody else. That's what it takes to be credible and to be consistent. I'll give you a story. When we talk about context, I know a couple guys, right? I'm not speaking about me. I'm speaking about some people that I know very, 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 very well. Every once in a while, I see them in mirrors, but not me though. Okay, it's about some people I know. Got jammed up. I'm gonna try to cut a lot of the fat off of the story. Got jammed up. 3 of them got thrown in the precinct. One of them got taken out, let go. 2 of them were put in 2 different interrogation rooms. 2 of them, okay, 2 people. That had 2 joints that they got grabbed for. Okay. One of the guys in the interrogation room, when asked from the detective, where did you get that from? One of the guys in one of the interrogation rooms says, I stole it from it was either a gas station or a junkyard, he said. Like, I stole it, right? It's totally made the story up. I stole it. You know what I'm saying? The other guy in the other interrogation room, so where'd you get that from? Because when they already got you. They got you with it. They got it in your car. You know what I'm saying? Can we get more? That's a detective's job. While we got you here, do you know 6ix9ine? Do you know anything about Jay Prince? That's what they're gonna do. That's what detectives will do. They see if they can get more. How about you in the other room? Where did you get it? That guy makes up a 1000% story, right? He makes up a story and says, listen, man, my close family members passed away. I'm out here on my own right now. An uncle of mine gave me this to hold down the crib and says, hey, protect you and protect the castle. Okay, cool. What's your uncle's name? Now, this is a made up story. What's your uncle's name? Can't tell you the uncle's name. First of all, it's made up, but can't tell you the uncle's name. Can't tell me the uncle's name. No, I can't tell you the uncle's name. That's my uncle. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't buy it off the street in some dirty transaction. My uncle gave it to me. Hopefully, y'all give me some sympathy. And you learn later on, there's no sympathy that comes from the arresting officers or the detectives, right? People try to plead a case to the arresting officers. It's the judge that you got to worry about. The judge and the jury. Once the bracelets go on, they don't take them off. That's why they will sit there and detain you for 20 minutes trying to get details before they say, turn around, you're under arrest. If you're under arrest, you learn later on, you don't want to talk to them. Don't even talk in the car. There's recording devices in the car. Don't talk on the phone. Don't talk in the jail. Save it for your lawyer. Save it and let your lawyer talk to the judge. You learn that later on. But what happens is a lot of people try to plead their cases to the people that don't make the decisions on what's going to happen to you. Their job is to arrest you, not to make the decision of guilty, not guilty. And people need to learn that, which people, they don't learn that until either you go through it or you learn it from somebody else or somebody teaches you. You know what I'm saying? So you try to plead your case, but still some people might be solid enough to say, I'm going to plead a case. I'm already in the box. They already have me charged. I'm going to plead a case and see if I can find a way to get some sympathy. But at least I'm going to make up a lie. My uncle gave it to me. And you say, well, once again, what's the uncle's name? Look, I ain't got no uncle name for you, man. This person that I'm talking about, right, that I know the whole story of, the detective told him to his face that what he said was honorable. The detective was so used to sitting in front of snitches and to get into that point, and that person saying, Uncle Tommy, that the detective looked the person in his face and said, I respect that. You don't want to give me a name. Okay, well, I'll be back. And left it alone, left it there. Fine, you're going to walk with all of this. I was really not trying to put your charge on somebody else. I was going to try to charge you and get somebody else. But that's the real. Now, staying on, this is still take number 2, context. If that interrogation room footage comes out and all you got is a piece of the footage, 2 seconds of him saying, yo, where'd you get this from? He said, I got it from my uncle. If that hits the net, people could go, oh, you told on your uncle, right? But if the full 3 minutes of that little back and forth comes out, that guy actually looks like a fucking hero, to the point where even the detective said, shit, that's some stand-up shit you just did. I'm used to motherfuckers telling me and singing their asses off in this cage right here. Okay? So I gotta be real. I gotta be consistent with myself, especially when we talk about allegations like this, which is context matters. Okay? I'm going to leave that there. Take number 3, the negative. The reason why I played that video right there and that piece right there is Clone put himself on record. Clone is, I believe, saying that, I have the rest of this footage, or I have the pieces that matter. Jack Boy is trying to be respectful there. He's like, it would be best if you put out the whole 15, and Clone reacts to that. Oh, so I can entertain motherfuckers. No, gang, I ain't trying to play right now. It's not about entertaining people. And there's pieces in there that I saw Clone say things like, I got an event to run and everything. Be careful with that. Because technically, these type of allegations create very extreme and serious situations. It's supposed to be priority. So I would be careful with the whole, I got better things to do right now. I'd be careful of that. But Clone put himself on the record, right? He put himself on the record. He put himself on a shot clock by saying, I'm going to bring that back. When I give that to y'all, I got a thumb drive or whatever. You put yourself on the record right there. And no disrespect to Clone, because I ain't saying true, false, this, that, whatever. I'm just here with the reality checks of this shit. Boom did the same thing. What Boom did, I mean, the paperwork was the paperwork, but what Boom did after that, because you got different layers of people that will make up their minds. You got people that say, I read it and I'm done. Then you got people that say, I read it, but I'm unsure. So what else is there? Then you got people that say, Adi Boom told me it ain't that, it's this, and I'm waiting on him to give me that, right? So those people, you put yourself on a clock with them now, right? And when Boom did that, what did he do? Boom said, I'm gonna go get the rest of the paperwork when the courts open back up. And you got people interviewing them, saying stuff like, you can't just run down there. You didn't have your paperwork already. You can't email. All right, the courts is open now. Or and he never came with it. So for the people that were waiting for Adi Boom's follow-up for them to make their final decision, he never gave them something that he said he was going to give them. And then that was closed book for even that demographic of people. So I'm just saying, when Clone puts himself on a line like that and says, okay, cool, I got y'all. I'm going to give you this more of the footage so you get the context, or give you the pieces that have more value of why I said this and we were only talking about a record label, etc. If you don't present that after telling Jack Boy that and saying that to your face, because I believe that this is Clone's live. Clone went live to speak publicly and to stand up for himself. So if that's what you give the public and the people that you want to hear your message, and the battle rappers or the community or the leagues or whoever, if that's what you say for the people that you want to get your message, you just as a man took a position. And that's the one that people will hold you to more than anything else, because they're going to say, you said you was going to give me something and you did or you did not. I'm going to leave it there. But that's, once again, I try to be real careful with that type of stuff, man, because I know how sensitive it is. I try to be real. Y'all see how respectful I try to carry it up here. I don't be jumping out. Yo, you did. I try, people. I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. And like I said early on, my interactions with the man was sturdy. Good dude. But he has a situation, and that's the reality check. That's the positive. And that's the negative, homie. Okay? I'm going to move on from that, because I don't want to get into anything else that's about what else he got to deal with as far as the direct accusation and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, yeah. So stop asking me if I seen it. There you go. I seen it. I don't duck topics, people. I just choose what I feel like, number one, is interesting to me, interesting to, I believe, our podcast, things that I'm experienced in, things that I feel like they're gems in. You guys know me by now. I've been doing this particular podcast for over a year, and I've been blogging for over 10 years. I've been blogging for like 13 years. You guys know me by now, okay? And if you don't, and if you're new, it's all good. Continue to tune in. You'll learn me. You'll read me. My best friend, let's pull it up. Kanye. I have a very quick take on this one. I hope it's quick. I hope I don't get frustrated. OMG, Kanye reveals his cousins in wildest tweet to date. He's had some wild tweets, but I don't know. Let's go to this one. All right. We've had some pretty pretty mature topics today. All right. I hope there's no kids around today, man. That's not what my YouTube demographic says. So I think we good. This song called Cousins about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazine. We used to look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Jay, and my cousins till I was 14. Tweet sent. Okay. Wow. Some people's going to think that this is the reason why he's recently supporting Diddy, is because he's got all these breadcrumbs that show what he's like behind closed doors, as far as his choice of women, the way he models them off, and some of his tweets. And he seems like a CUCK. He does. Allegedly. Y'all might think that I'm going at that tweet specifically. We're covering this topic today. I'm not. There are many kids that were essayed. There are many kids that may have made that mistake. I don't know. Once again, I'm putting this spot from YouTube sensitivity to be careful. I have for me personally, a way more important take. I've never said this about Kanye before, and I'm going to say it for the first time. It's tough to say this shit because I got to build up the disclaimer. As you saw from the last topic, I'm sensitive, and I try to be very careful with the word snitch. I also try to respect people's political views. I try to respect people's religious views. I try to respect people's choice of sexuality and sexual preference. Another thing I don't really play with, damn near don't at all, is things that could affect relationships or affect kids, relationships with kids, or kids, period. None of us are supposed to play with that. But somebody's got to take the bold position at this point because we have enough proof. I'm going to say it. Kanye doesn't deserve, at this point, for this moment of his life, to father those children. It wasn't easy for me to say that. People, if the moral of the story is to protect the children, he's too dangerous. We had prior streams. I was just like, yo, he's going back and forth and he's screaming out over all this custody stuff with Kim, right? Hey, what you think Kim and her legal team is going to walk into these courts with as far as your behavior when we're talking about, hey, he got to have a supervised visits around these kids because look at the back and forth with Cardi, Playboy Cardi, and this and that. And he called me a sex worker and all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you alley-oop this to Kim so easily. You know what I'm saying? Like, you alley-oop from a custody standpoint, what you have given her and her legal team. The thing about protecting kids, the harsh truth is that, what do we say cliche? It'd be the people closest to you, right? It's not always some stranger that's going to hurt me the most. Sometimes it's the person closest to you. Best friend, cousin, closest person that you went to college with, mother, father. It happens. you're walking around with Ku Klux Klan robes. Appears to be allegedly that's him and Bianca, whatever, on the album cover wearing the Ku Klux Klan robes too, right? I'm assuming, right? You got the iced out swastika on your chest, right? Very foul, very, very fucked up towards the Jewish community. And we went through our history on this channel before, reminded people that there were black people in them camps as well, people in Germany. There are people. I'm not saying when you talk Holocaust, it's supposed to be a sensitive and a when it comes to Jewish people. When you talk slavery, it's supposed to be black people, right? But what I'm trying to say is there still were our people as well, black people as well in Germany that were affected. The swastikas, the robes, tweets like this. You want me to keep cutting deeper? Look at the way he parades around with these women, like let's say this Bianca chick or whatever, right? Let's pull up on the Grammys and let's try to take all the attention. This was his tweets, right? We topped the viewership in the Grammy. We beat the Grammys. 3, 2, 1. Drop your jacket. Show your ass. Show your titty. All of that. Let's go. Sexualizing a woman like that, and it's an adult decision. There's nothing wrong with this, especially what you do in the privacy of your own home. But when you got daughters, when you got like Papoose like that, go look at Papoose lyrics. I think he interviewed about this. He said he struggled to have those type of lyrics because daughters. Like, you want me to teach this type of stuff publicly where my kids, if your kids are raised where mommy and daddy are the heroes, they are the authorities, I need to listen to them and do as they show and as they say. This is what you're showing and what you're saying. So when I look on the internet, I see that my daddy is wearing the Ku Klux Klan outfit or the iced out swastika or talking about him and his cousin or over sexualizing this woman publicly or having these sexual type of rants and wilding out and doing all this. I slept with this. I'm going to do this to this person. He went at, was it Taylor Swift had him shut down, sent a cease and desist recently or something like this. Daddy is right because it's daddy. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. It's becoming more and more of Kim Kardashian. And Kim ain't no angel. How did we meet Kim? She ain't no angel, but it's becoming more and more of Kim Kardashian's job to protect them kids seriously from Kanye. You know what? I could drag this, but I could make it simple like this. Mothers and fathers in the chat, would you want your child to spend a day with Kanye West? Topic done. Lil Durk. Lil Durk. That transition is pissing me off. Lil Durk. Okay. So we saw his paperwork recently, where he filed a motion to have his case dismissed because he's saying that the superseding indictment was based around false claims that were known. And they went into the grand jury basically saying that, you know, that the song this and the song that, the way it was created, didn't have these lyrics before, or the Quando Rondo screaming, no, that all happened before, you know, Quando Rondo's cousin was killed. So, you know, to bring about the indictment after the grand jury with that premise taints the judicial system, which is grounds for dismissal, right? And if you can get the superseding indictment dismissed, what we read on the internet is that if a superseding indictment gets dismissed, it has precedence to dismiss the whole thing, including the original indictment, because a superseding indictment isn't like an addendum. It's meant to replace. Okay. So he filed that. And now that he filed that, he's moving for a bond reconsideration. Okay. So the clear move there is you're looking for two things. One of which is probably a little less likely, as per his own lawyers saying that in the paperwork that we read the other day, like getting a dismissal. We understand it's not easy, but we need this to be seen. The side factor that is being done here that we didn't see coming is not only am I moving for the dismissal, which I may not get, but at least hear out the fact that I should possibly be given bail, given a bond behind at least that grand jury situation. At least do that for me. Okay, so he's going with a 2-for-1. And he probably got a little bit more strength to maybe get a bail than he does a dismissal, but I'm pretty sure if you're Lil Durk, you'll definitely take the dismissal, but you'll take either one at this point. Mr. Banks requests reconsideration of the order detaining him pre-trial. Since his December 12, 2024 detention hearing, new information has come to light that impacts not only the veracity of the evidence presented to the grand jury, but of government counsel's reputations and the court at the first detention hearing. In light of these developments, Mr. Banks presents the court with a substantial bond package that mitigates against any risk posed by Mr. Banks' release on conditions. Okay. The rest of this pretty much, there's only a 6-page. It goes down what we already know. People on his side standing up and saying that those recordings were done prior, the engineers from the studio and whatnot, even on Babyface's side, they all come forward on record for Lil Durk under oath. I think the last piece then of this that's important is the actual bond package. Mr. Banks' proposed bond package. Mr. Banks, a devoted husband, father, and son, as well as an internationally renowned musician and recording artist, should be granted pretrial release on reasonable conditions that include the following. 1, a bond secured partially or in full by approximately $900,000 in equity in real properties, $1 million in cash tendered by Alamo Records, and $150,000 in cash tendered by whoever that person is. Mr. Banks' business associate. Okay. 2, home detention with electronic monitoring. Okay. 3, around-the-clock security services ensuring compliance with all conditions imposed by this court. 4, reporting to pretrial services. And 5, additional third-party sureties and guarantors to satisfy a bond amount that the court determines to be reasonable under that code. Strong to me. Not only, it's not just the amount of money. It's not just the amount of money to ensure we don't think this guy gonna do the race, man. He got over a couple $1 million or something, whatever, put up in equity and money and all of this. Not just that, but the security around you, saying the check-ins required, home detention, probably ankle monitor, all that stuff, and all these different stipulations and conditions. I mean, if a judge got to come back and deny that, then he truly still believes that Durk is a flight risk as per them catching him or arresting him at an airport initially, right? So I don't know, man. I don't know. See, the thing with like the what case was it where somebody was not Diddy? It was the one that's what it was. It was Brick Baby. Okay. When we did that paperwork where they broke that down of all his shit, the AK stuff and the threats with his baby mom and this and that. We read through that and we was just like, damn, they're not going to give him bond because they're presenting a write-up of him that makes him look like Super Saiyan Savage, right? So somebody got to read all of this and say, if I give him a bond and he goes out and he does something, I'm the fool. How many times do I got to keep giving this person a chance out in society because that be the stipulations of the terms of non-release and saying, nah, bond denied. You're still a threat to society, for example, or to people around you, or to witnesses, or to that. You know what I'm saying? So when we read through Bricks, it was like, he ain't getting no bond. They're going to have to look at Durk and say that he's not a threat. We don't believe that he's a flight risk. And okay, we're going to allow you to go sit in your crib and do all these stipulations until we get to trial. I give it 60-40. 40% yes, 60% no. That's what I would give it. But that's a Durk update, man. We'll see if he could make it home prior to trial. Okay. Last but not least, this is something that if we covered it the first time, let's make sure we cover such a drastic update such as this. Records placed Druski in Georgia during alleged 2018 assault at Diddy's California party. I don't need to read the caption. Like that says it, that wraps it up enough right there. Look, he's presented bank statements. Okay, so these transactions will put you at a certain location. Okay, the transactions on the bank statements. This is also coming from Megan Kniff. I'm not sure if she's a lawyer, but she's definitely active out there covering court cases. Records also show Druski's phone made 16 calls on March 23rd, 2018, all from Georgia. That's the same day the lawsuit alleges he R'd a woman at a party in California. An amended complaint was filed March 13th in federal court in San Francisco. So we read that, and that was the one that read like a movie, right? It was just like, yo, what do y'all got me reading here? It was just wild. We couldn't even get through most of the paperwork. It was crazy. And they put Druski in that paperwork. I want to make this one clear cut and simple, straight to the point. If the man is saying, if somebody comes forward and says, we are claiming that he R'd somebody in California on March 23rd. And then he comes back with bank statements saying, I was in this store in Georgia on March 23rd. And look at all these phone calls I made to my best friend, my sister, my brother, my cousin, whatever. You know, the day before, the day of March 23rd and the day after. Case dismissed to me. I don't like when you can put black and white crippling evidence out there and then things continue. That's just fucked up to do. That's fucked up to do to somebody. He R'd me on ARP R'd me on Sunday. I just posted on my gram where we was at Sunday. We was around a bunch of, it was the husbands, the wives, the boyfriends, the girlfriends, the kids, the nephews, the nieces, the sons, the daughters, the godchildren, doing a fucking Easter egg hunt. What'd you do after the Easter egg hunt? And what city was it? It was states away from where you just said I was on Sunday. And after that, what did I do? We watched TV, we played pool, we talked shit, we drank. The kids opened up their gifts, blah, 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 after the egg hunt. All Sunday. And then you still gonna tell me, no, you did. And I got proof for you. I got phone calls. I got text messages. I got pictures. I got 100 witnesses that were there. And you still want to say, no, we can take, fuck you. And then the whole system is cracked. Don't move forward with this indictment on me. And I just showed you somebody just put me in an 800 number lawsuit. It's fucked up. So I don't got no gray area to put on Druski's name. Stop that shit. And if it's some Tony Buzbee type shit, allegedly again, sue the motherfuckers too, Druski. Druski, you got a couple dollars. After you clear your name and this is done, hopefully dismissed with prejudice, the same way Jay-Z had his shit, put lawyers on their ass too. Please make examples of people that put frivolous, lying shit. And then here's the proof. And you still want to fuck with me? Oh, no, this is personal then. Cool. I got something for you. Let me deal with this legal shit to get this shit dismissed real quick. And then I owe you one. Druski, you owed him one. It's nasty shit. It's nasty shit because this is career-ending shit that you put on these people. Fun stream today, huh? Did y'all enjoy today's stream? I hope y'all enjoyed today's stream. When I'm like energy spent like this means that I had some passion in some of these topics. 3-letter man, what's up, homie? Good to see you, as always. 3 has called me before, going back to the reality check of my 3 takes. The first take that I got of the clone topic. 3 called me before. Hey man, some BS that came my way. Hey, don't put that bullshit out, 3. You know what that is. And if you don't, let's have a conversation. Let me explain. And if he understands what I'm saying, he makes his decision as a man and says, you know what? I'm going to go this direction. That's integrity, man. It's integrity. There have been other times, though, where I was like, no, 3, put it out because I'm going to use it. Put it out. I'm going to use it. 3 was good. Thank you, Misha. I appreciate you. Our members is in the building. DMV Doll says today was fire, ARP. I appreciate it. Well, this is what I'm going to do in closing. I'm going to say, remember, people, when we have streams that's not as entertaining, just understand that some of these topics that we all want to see come on a podcast, some of them might not give me areas of passion. Some of them I might not be as experienced in. Some of them are light, and they just don't give us a lot to dig into. You know what I'm saying? They are what they are. You know, sometimes the news cycle is a little bit down, right? There's going to be other times where it's just like this morning, I looked up and I was just like, I got to do all of this shit so that we can stay current. Like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? So the same way y'all get some great lives, man, just please rock with your boy when, you know, they ain't as great. You know what I'm saying? But we here for it. You know what I'm saying? When it's some real shit going on, you know what it is. Twiz, thank you, my man. Kelsey, I appreciate you. Thank you. Shout out to the chat, man. I see reactions in the chat, man. Thank you. Thank you, K. RBE. I appreciate y'all. See, I'm putting that on the screen. That's 3-letter man's cosign. Okay. Thank you, members. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm going to get up out of here, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. We'll be back ASAP. Sorry, it's true.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry It's True podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.